What's up, everybody? Celtic Character here, back with our video to get those 10s and 20 views. Day 2 of 8 of my NFL predictions. We're doing the AFC North. Did the NFC North yesterday. Comment section was... I had no idea what the comment section was. I'm doing these back to back. John Paul probably got in their system of the Vikings. But we are moving on to the AFC side of the North. So it is the Steelers, the Browns, the Bengals, and the Ravens. Right off the jump, again, I put zero research into this. This is just based off what I saw last year, who I saw you sign, and if I saw anything pop up on like Twitter. Or what little I saw on like ESPN or the NFL Network. Enough of me talking, let's get over to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh, love you, been there a few times. Went to a Panthers-Steelers game. You kicked their ass. Do I think you improved with Aaron Rodgers over Justin Fields and Russell Wilson? Maybe. Last year, if you look at it statistically, Aaron Rodgers had a just as good of a year as Patrick Mahomes did in the regular season. Is it going to be MVP caliber Aaron Rodgers? Most likely not, but it's still higher grade than what a lot of teams have. Looking at you, Cowboys. Yes. So that being said, let's get into it. I'm just pulling my blanket up because the air conditioner is doing its job. I also need my handy dandy notepad so I can write down that. Starting off with the New York Giants. Well done. I can't wait to watch scriptwriter by Tom Grossi week 1, depending on this game. It's at the Jets. I'm giving Pittsburgh the win. I will tell you why. 1, Aaron Rodgers should be behind a better offensive line. Weapons look to be slightly better in Pittsburgh than they were in New York. And also, I did not think the Jets fixed their offensive line. So therefore, win. Seattle. 50-50 game. Definitely would change on the ceiling and worst case scenario. Right now, I'm going to give it a loss. It's in Seattle, I think. That's going to play a factor. Versus the Patriots. Win. I like Drake Mays. I like what New England's doing. Not there yet. Minnesota. Another one of those 50-50 games. I'm going to give you the win. I think you're slightly more complete defensively than they are. Week 5 bye. This is such a bad bye week. Coming off bye versus the Browns, I have you as a win. Browns quarterback, yada yada yada. You'll hear me talk more about the Browns next. They're the next team on my upper. The Bengals. I think you'll split with the Bengals, to be all honest. So this will be a loss. It's in Cincinnati. I think your defense is good enough to hang with them. What will your offense do? Versus the Packers. I don't know. You know what? For the lulz, win. For the lulz, win. Versus the Colts, win. I have no faith in the Colts. I think this is most likely, if the Bears don't take it, potentially the worst team in football this year. Chargers. Loss. I like Herbert better than what you guys got. Bengals. It's here at home. It's the win. It's a split. Versus the Bears. Aaron Rodgers, I think, owns the Bears, so that's a win. Versus Buffalo is a loss. I know in the Panthers video I did skip Buffalo. My bad, Buffalo. Versus Baltimore. I'm going to say you split with Baltimore. I know they could sweep you. You could potentially sweep them. So I'm going to give you the split. Miami. Let's face it, Tua's probably not going to be playing this game. That's a win. Detroit. I'm going to go loss. I like Detroit better. I have them as a Super Bowl contender. Browns win and then end the year off with a win versus the Ravens. So that is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have you guys going as a baseline at 11-6. Wow. Unfortunately, your ceiling that I see for you guys, to be all honest, isn't that much higher. I gave you a lot of the 50-50 games. So I can see your ceiling easily being 13-5. Maybe you pick up, maybe you sweep the Ravens. Maybe you sweep the Bengals. Worst case scenario, though, I did give you a lot of those 50-50 games. Worst case scenario, I'm going to give you the same worst case scenario that I gave the Green Bay, which is 4-13. I gave them a lot of the 50-50 games because I do think Aaron Rodgers will be a slight factor in the win. I do like their defense a lot. So it is one of the things where it's like, I can see their base getting them into the playoffs as a wild card team, maybe win the division, or I can see them picking top 5 next year, which would not bode well for my guy like in Will Howard. He'll probably get replaced. Moving on to the most overhyped team with one of the most overhyped players, the Cleveland Browns. I had, and this is my all, your team will go as far as quarterback will go. And your offensive line. If your offensive line can keep the quarterback upright, that's the first step. That will probably get you at least 1 or 2 more wins. If you get any type of competency out of a quarterback, whether that's Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, or Shedeur Sanders, that's a major victory. The issue I see you having is, A, Shedeur, in my opinion, was the 4th best quarterback coming out of this draft. Cam Ward, Jackson Dart. Will Howard was the guy I liked over him. Played at a bigger school. Had similar numbers. Played at a bigger school. Won a national championship game. And then Shedeur Sanders. The guys the Saints took, that was the question mark. I understood every quarterback, and like I said, Will Howard. If they took Will Howard, I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Those are the quarterbacks that at least I get. That kid, no. And because of the fact that there is the Shedeur effect of you're going to have the media circus until this guy plays, and even if he plays okay for a rookie, they're going to overhype him, so the media circus is going to be out of control. So, let's get on with this. Bengals. Honestly, you could split with the Bengals. It's home. Let's give that one the good old Joe Flacco for a win. To be honest, if you're lucky, you're splitting with the Ravens. That's a loss. Green Bay. I think your defense is pretty decent. I don't like your offense, so I'm going to give it to Green Bay. Detroit. Better team. Minnesota is a winnable game. This will all depend on quarterback play. I'll have you lose. I think they have the firepower. They get out on you guys. You're not catching them. Pittsburgh. I'll have you split with Pittsburgh. That's a very winnable series. Dolphins. And this is also saying everybody stays healthy. I know I made it too. It won't be playing joke. Loss. New England. Winnable game. Very winnable game. Very good. Winnable game. I think you guys are a better team than them. The Jets. I want to say I almost said it was somebody else. This is a game if I'm putting in 1 to 2 rookies, if I'm putting in Gabriel or Shedeur, right here. This is the game. I am doing it. Yes, I know you're gonna have to play Baltimore next, but it's like this point you're what? You're 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're 3 and 5. You're coming off the bye. The Jets are that team that's like, I think it would be perfect for you guys to get into a rhythm with whatever quarterback you try. That would be the week I'd do it. Baltimore, loss. Raiders, I know nothing about them, so I'm going to give you the win. Lost to the Niners. Titans, I will say this. I am going to say this. I don't think Shador should be. Granted, at this stage, I have no idea. Shador, I would go Gabriel over Shador, but if you're going to put Shador in, this is the game. Maybe give Gabriel the Jets game. Maybe. See what happens. Throw back out, Flacco out to get his butt whooped there, and these couple games. See what happens here. This would be the game I put Shador out. The whole Cam Ward, Shador Sanders, left versus right, I'm giving you a loss. Sorry. It is what it is. The Bears. I think you can beat the Bears. You're not being Buffalo. I said you split with Pittsburgh. Lose to the Bengals. And that's the end of your season. So at the end of the season, at your base, you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 12. Not terrible for having, quarterback limbo. When are you going to put in one of your two rookie quarterbacks? When are you trading Kenny Pickett? When are you potentially trading Matt Ryan for Matt Ryan? There's a lot of stuff with the quarterback is going to happen. Your ceiling is actually going to be a decent sized ceiling because, Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, Will Howard comes in, and he's not the guy. You can sweep the Steelers. Burrows hasn't stayed healthy. You can easily steal a game there. You can beat the Bears. You can beat the Titans. You can beat the Raiders. You can beat the Jets, New England, Miami. Miami, it depends on health. So I can easily see your ceiling being 10-7. Your ceiling could easily be 10-7. And that's just saying, I'm just gonna go with Flacco. Flacco comes out and does Joe Flacco stuff. I could easily see you guys being 10-7. Worst case scenario, it's 2-15. It's slightly better than Chicago because I think your team's slightly better. It's because it's going to be that quarterback changeover carousel type thing. Who comes in, who gets playing time, who looks good. It is just a complete circus in Cleveland. And because of that, the Shador Sanders circus fully takes over. He gets put in way too early. Just gets destroyed like every rookie quarterback does. And then you go with back to Flacco or you go to Gabriel. And he somehow sneaks out a win late. So, moving on to the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, Bengals, did you develop a defense? Can you protect Joe Burrows? These are two things. Starting off against the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to have you split with them. I think you guys you're a better team, but I don't trust your defense. I think Cleveland will throw so much at it that it's going to be a split series. Also, it's week 1. Jacksonville, that's a win. Minnesota, this will depend on. This is a good game that's kind of test yourself. I'm going to go win because unfortunately I'm having you lose to the Broncos, who I think are better than the Vikings. Very similar, but better. Lose to the Lions. Packers. Winnable game, so I'm going to give it to you. Steelers. I see you splitting with the Steelers. That's a loss there. You beat the Jets. You beat the Bears. Week 10 bye. That's a good bye week. And you're coming back against the Steelers, so I'll have you in there. You will smoke New England. Loss. I'm going to have you split with them. I'm going to have you split with the Ravens. I think you split with every team in your division except for the Browns. Buffalo. Loss. It's at Buffalo. It's in December, so it's going to be cold already. Baltimore is a win. Miami, going down to Miami, I think that's a win. I don't know anything about Arizona, so I win, and then Cleveland. So as your baseline, you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 6. Good base, good base. Um, there is room for improvement. You don't, you sweep the, you have a chance. You could potentially sweep the Ravens. You could potentially sweep the Steelers. Very true. I also had you Buffalo. It's a game. So it's like same with Green Bay, Detroit, and there. So I think your ceiling is 14 and 3. I definitely think you guys could be one of the best teams in football if everybody stays healthy and kind of things fall your way. Worst case scenario, Aaron Rodgers is legit in Pittsburgh and you get swept by them. You get swept by Baltimore. Cleveland steals one of those two games. You get rolled by the NFC North. I think in your worst case scenario, you are much like the Pittsburgh Steelers and going 4-13. Um, Joe Burrow can Joe Burrow stay healthy and maybe go looking for a quarterback that can. It's a lot of things you can go wrong in Cincinnati. You guys seem very much like Indianapolis with like Andrew Luck. It can go very good or it can go very bad. Last and certainly not least, one of my Super Bowl contenders, the Baltimore Ravens. To be honest, I don't think you guys lost that much, and you gained a bunch of good players. So, starting off against the Bills at Buffalo Sunday night. I'll be streaming that game here. 50-50 game, I'm going to give it to you. I'll give them it to them on everything. You sweep the Browns. You lose to Detroit. I think Detroit's another Super Bowl contender team. At KC, good test early. I'm going to give you a loss, though. I think if they get on a roll early, I think it's a very winnable game. Houston, I'll give you that win. The Rams are another team that could give you a lot of trouble. I'm going to give you the win, though. Win against the Bears. Win against the Dolphins. Win against the Vikings. You sweep the Browns. You beat the Jets. You beat the Bengals at home. You beat the Steelers at home. I think the Bengals being twice in 3 weeks, you might stumble there. You beat the Pats. Green Bay, though. I think Green Bay is going to be... I'm going to give you a loss in Green Bay. The cold weather. You probably already locked up the division and beat the Steelers. Yeah, I figure that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so you're 13-4 as your base. Yeah, I think the Packers game could easily be that. We already got the division. We already locked up where we're at on the depth chart. Like you guys might even have first place at that point. So your ceiling, I honestly think, just looking at the schedule and how everything could play out, could easily be 15-2. Like, you have tough games. Don't get me wrong. You have tough games, but in best case scenario, you sweep your division, and the only two teams that realistically look to be a threat to you is right here. Detroit and KC. Houston's good. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think Houston's there yet. Give them another year or two, another decent playoff run with a little more experience. I think Stroud going to year 4 would be a monster. In your worst case scenario, like I said, this is a gauntlet. Like, you start off with Buffalo. You got the Browns. Who knows? But it's like Super Bowl contender, Super Bowl contender, Super Bowl contender, Super Bowl hopeful, Super Bowl hopeful. it's like this stretch is your sweet spot. And you've got the Bengals, Steelers, Bengals. It's a very hard thing. I think in a worst case scenario, you can easily be 5-12, and that's just worst case scenario. I'm not saying that's how it's going to be. I'm not saying that this, but it's just like a lot of things can happen in the football season. So that being said, the team I have winning the division is the Baltimore Ravens. I also have Cincinnati and Pittsburgh potentially going for a wild card spot, both at 11-6. Cleveland at like 6-12. So most likely realist high. I'm giving it to Pittsburgh. I think 13-5 is really doable for Pittsburgh with that schedule. Aaron Rodgers knows it's its final year and just goes out on like I somehow want to will myself to a Super Bowl. Will he do it? Most likely not. Most likely worst season is the Browns. Just with the quarterback media circus and the quarterback you got there, you either got aging Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett on team 3 now, or 2 rookie quarterbacks. I think he's 115. But that's it. That's all I have. Thank you for showing up. I'm still gonna try streaming a little more. Fridays, Sunday nights, Monday night. Who knows? I'm just gonna start getting back in the habit because I will be streaming every primetime game that I have access to, and yeah, and Notre Dame games if I'm off work. That's it. That's all I have. I'll see you weird people later.